Vicky Foxcroft.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's an honour to make my maiden speech in this important debate. I spent some time in Scotland on the referendum campaign, and one of my lasting memories is how engaged 16 and 17-year-olds were, a point I will come back to later. On the campaign trail, one of the things that came up on the doorstep was that politicians too often use language they don't relate to. In doing my maiden speech and in future contributions to this House, I will ensure that I use language that the people of Lewisham Deptford can relate to. Not policy speak, not buzzwords or jargon, but plain, simple language. Now, I'm not normally one for following conventions, and I have to be honest that my very short time here as an MP has shown me that there are a lot of conventions in Parliament. But one that's very easy for me to follow is that of paying tribute to my predecessor. Joan Ruddock was a hard-working MP for Lewisham Deptford for over 28 years. She also worked extremely hard to reform this House. She was quoted as saying that this place had some of the worst working conditions she'd ever encountered. Some members will remember the days when Parliament used to have 40% of sittings beyond midnight, allowing very little time in the constituency. She rightly felt that this is not what people expected of their MPs, and through her work with all members on all sides of the House, she got friendlier sitting hours, though I know she would still say this was not ideal. The people of Lewisham Deptford were important to Joan, and they're important to me. We have a strong sense of community locally, and we're proud of this. And you can see it from our successful campaign to save Lewisham Hospital. We had thousands of people take to the streets, sign petitions, put up posters, and do whatever it took to save our local hospital. Ultimately, we had to take the Secretary of State, Jeremy Hunt, to court and the previous government, where we won. I would hope we don't have to do the same again. But if we do, then I know we have the strength, the resolve and the passion to fight again to protect our local hospital and our community. But in Lewisham Deptford, we're not just fighters, we're creative as well. We have a vibrant community art space. The Albany, Brockley Jack Theatre, MIDI Music, the Le Band, Second Wave, Goldsmiths University, Crofton Park and New Cross Community Libraries, Lewisham Art House, street festivals such as Hither Green, Deptford X and Brockley Max, to mention a few, and much, much more. The creative side is important to the community, and it's important to me. I actually studied performing arts at college. I didn't get any A to C's in my GCSEs when I was at school. Further education, that was my second chance. It must be properly supported and properly funded. Lewisham and Southwark College is my local college, and I want it to thrive. I want it to receive the support it had under a Labour government. Now, some might say that learning drama and performing arts, well, that was a perfect training ground to be an MP. But I have to be honest, if anybody would have said to me when I was 17 that I would be an MP, I wouldn't have believed them, because, quite honestly, politics just wasn't for the likes of me. And this is still the opinion of too many young people, and it has to change. We need every young person, every person to recognise that politics isn't just for a political class, it's for everyone. And this is why I'll continue to meet with young people from our schools, colleges and youth groups and get them involved in politics. Their voice matters. They are the future. And this is why I'll also use the opportunity afforded to me by winning the private members' bill ballot to put forward a bill calling for votes for 16 and 17-year-olds. Now, I only secured 16th place on the ballot, but my voice must be heard. Just as 16-year-olds should have their voices heard and their vote counted. They were rightly given the opportunity to vote in Scotland in the referendum. The future of their country was at stake, and they turned out to vote. Now, I ask you a question. Is it right that they can fight and die for their country, pay tax and contribute to the economy, get married, yet they can't have their views reflected at the ballot box? In Lewisham, we have a young mayor, Liam Islam from Deptford Green School. I will work with him and his teams and advisors and any other groups who wish to join this campaign. I would love the government to work with us to deliver this. But if you don't, we won't be quiet about seeking to ensure that 16 and 17-year-olds have their voices heard in the referendum and beyond. Now, I'm deeply concerned about the next 5 years and the detrimental impact this government will have, both on the people of Lewisham Deptford and the country as a whole. But let me tell you this. I will do everything I can to protect the most vulnerable in our society from this government. And I will fight tooth and nail against whatever attacks fall on our public services, our housing, and on the people of Lewisham Deptford. And as someone famous once wrote on a train to New Cross in 1889, then raise the scarlet standard high, within its shades we'll live and die. Though cowards flinch and traitors sneer, we'll keep the red flag flying here. Madam Deputy Speaker, some members may recognise those words from Jim Connell's song, The Red Flag. And in finishing, I just want to invite any of the members opposite to come on a train to New Cross, bring pen and paper, and you never know what might happen.